Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got something a little bit different for you guys, but we think a lot of you guys are going to find some value in it. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, funny enough, this particular show was something that Marco, the co-founder here at Dreamerspro, and I were just discussing just yesterday as we were kind of strategizing and thinking, looking into the future. We were actually talking about this very thing yesterday. Now, what am I alluding to? If some of you may be aware, a report recently came out, and we got our report from CNBC.com, and it came out surrounding some news about Disney and ESPN. Now, for those of you who may be unaware, Disney owns ESPN. It's one of its sister companies that it owns. So whenever Disney puts out any type of news regarding job losses and cuts and all of that, it's going to have a direct impact on ESPN, right? And ESPN is a sports media company, and therefore it falls right in line with a lot of the content that we produce and a lot of the interest that a lot of our viewers have in general, right? So we were talking about this, and I was like, man, this is some pretty interesting news, right? And we were looking at it from a content creator standpoint, and also from a competitive standpoint in terms of an opportunity that may exist in the marketplace moving forward if a big void is created, right? So today what we want to do is we want to talk a little bit about this report and kind of give you guys our angle on it in terms of what we think this could lead to moving into the future in terms of content creation, especially people that are looking to get into the business here. So what we want to do is we want to read from this article here. But before we get into that, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me just get into this article here. Starts off with the headline: Disney to cut 7,000 jobs and slash $5.5 billion in costs as it unveils vast restructuring. Key points: Disney said it will be reorganizing into 3 divisions: entertainment, ESPN, and parks and experiences. Disney will slash 7,000 jobs from its workforce and plans to cut $5.5 billion in costs, including $3 billion in content savings. CEO Bob Iger said the company isn't considering a spinoff of ESPN. Disney said Wednesday it is planning to reorganize into 3 segments, while also cutting thousands of jobs and slashing costs. The media and entertainment giant said it will now be made up of 3 divisions: Disney Entertainment, which includes most of its streaming and media operations; an ESPN division that includes the TV network and ESPN Plus streaming services; a parks experiences and product unit. The move marks the most significant action Bob Iger has taken since returning to the company as CEO in November. Disney announced the changes minutes after it posted its most recent quarterly earnings. The announcement also came as Disney engages in a proxy fight with activist investor Nelson Peltz and the firm Trian Management. We are pleased that Disney is listening, a Trian spokesperson said Wednesday. On Wednesday, During its quarterly earnings call with investors, Disney also announced it will be cutting $5.5 billion in costs, which will be made up of $3 billion from content excluding sports and the remaining $2.5 billion from non-content cuts. Disney executives said about $1 billion in cuts was already underway since last quarter. Disney also said it will be eliminating 7,000 jobs from its workplace. That will be about 3% of the roughly 220,000 people it employs as of October 1st, 2022, according to SEC filing. With roughly 166,000 jobs in the United States and about 54,000 internationally. Disney stock rose about 6% in the pre-market trading Thursday. Media companies such as Warner Bros. Discovery have been pulling back on content spending and looking to make their streaming business profitable. Heightened competition has led to slowing subscriber growth, and companies have been looking to find new avenues of revenue growth. Some, like Disney Plus and Netflix, have added a cheaper ad-supported option. Iger addresses ESPN's speculation. The future of ESPN under Disney's ownership has been a question for some time for investors. Last year, Third Point, which is led by activist investor Dan Leob, had urged the company to spin out ESPN. Disney and Third Point later reached a deal after reversing course on its thoughts for the future of ESPN. Iger addressed speculation that the company may look to spin out ESPN due to the sports networks being siloed into its own unit. He noted that while ESPN has been struggling due to cord cutting, the ESPN band and programming remain healthy and in demand. We are not engaged in any conversation or considering a spinoff of ESPN. Now, I know that article was a little bit lengthy, but we wanted to give you guys the full picture there. Now, here are my thoughts on all of this. As you may be aware, we produced a show reacting to some of the comments that Stephen A. Smith made about this very news on his show, where he believes that cuts may be coming, but he doesn't believe it is going to be coming from his end. Here's my overall take on this entire thing. The market is shifting, right? And it seems like the saying content is king is truer than ever before. Everyone is heading in this direction. And you're going to see a lot of people pivoting towards the internet, towards creating content for the internet, like for YouTube and other platforms like that, which to me, I believe creates a tremendous opportunity for creators moving forward. Why? Because the way the landscape is shifting, if you can create a great product and you can kind of harness your own audience, you could be possibly one of the winners moving into the future. I think people like Pat McAfee, these guys are going to be, those guys are already winning anyway. But the independent route seems to be the way that one should be thinking in terms of moving. It should be the way. The reason why you see a lot of these guys coming to the internet is because a lot of people that watch television are older people. And they know that young people are on the internet. That's why you see a lot of them creating their shows. So if you can figure out a way to carve out your niche in the marketplace, I ultimately think you're going to be successful. As y'all know, I think back in 2011, ESPN had about ESPN was in about 100 million homes. Now they're in about 75 million. Now, I don't know the daily viewership numbers, but to me, there's a decline. So the question is, where are these people going? Well, they're not disappearing into the ether. They're going somewhere else. And you got to figure out where are these people going and then try to go there and service whatever needs they may have. In this case, we're talking about top-notch content, sports content. So to me, I think there's a tremendous opportunity that exists out there. And I just think it takes the right cultivation. And people just got to think about it. And you got to have some type of smarts and a strategy to work toward it. And I think you're going to see a lot of guys in the future in the next 5, 10, 15 years popping up that are going to be tremendous juggernauts. So these are my thoughts and opinions. The question is simply this. What do you think about this report? What do you think about some of the points that I laid bare? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section and we catch you guys on the next episode.